Hey guys, it's Dandy. I hope you're all doing alright. Sorry it's been a little bit since I've been on here. It's been kind of hard lately, but I'm happy to be recording again. I have a few minutes where I can just sit down and hopefully go through my thoughts coherently about my books. I can't believe it's already June, so that's crazy. Sorry for no video last week. I'll give you guys a couple updates anyway of the stuff I did have time to do. Last Saturday or the Saturday before, I can't remember, my memory is terrible. The whole family went out for a picnic in the woods and it was really nice. It's my favorite place to go, honestly. It's where I grew up, basically. There's a campground and a picnic area and a creek, and we just kind of went and spent a few hours there. It wasn't too hot yet, and it was kind of, I guess, gloomy, like overcast. It had started raining like right after we ate, but it was really nice to just spend that time away out in the woods. And then other things that have happened, one of my friends bought me a little Transformers blocky, which is like a mini model kit kind of, and it's like a mystery thing, so it's kind of like Pop Mart where it's like a blind box but you also get to build it. And I got one of my favorite characters, Tarn, so I was really happy about that. My favorite bracelet broke, but luckily I was able to salvage most of the beads, and I remade it and I added the little aventurine stones to it myself, and honestly I kind of like it more now than before, and it makes it that much more customized to me, I guess. So that's cool. Anyway, on to my books. As of right now, about halfway through the year, I'm in these 3 books still. I have shifted completely from the rings. I'll still use it sometimes for like financial tracking and things like that, more like maintenance stuff rather than commonplacing or journaling or planning or anything. That's just mostly like back-end maintenance stuff that I'm doing in my life now in my rings. So I'm not even including it in this because it's not enough for it to be, I don't want to say significant because it is significant, but it's just not as, I guess, prominent as these 3 are. So I've got my Kinbor. This is a daily journal. Well, these are both Kinbor. My Kinbor daily, and then my Kinbor just regular notebook, and then my Hobonichi Weeks. And I think I'm gonna go through them in that order, just because I've got things to say. So, I've said it before and I'll say it again every single day. I really love my Kinbor daily journal. I didn't think I was going to be able to keep up with daily journaling, but this has proven me wrong. Now, some days I am missing recently just because the sad has gotten to me, and so some days I just don't feel like it, but then eventually when I feel better, I go back and either backlog or fill the page in some way. But I do really like it. I've got my cards in here. I showed this part before. This is where I'm adding stickers throughout the year for places I go or like things I do, or just stickers that stand out to me, I guess. Just because I like collecting stickers. Some changes I have made in my Kinbor. I was trying to do these drawings every day. I started out doing it and it was going really good for the first couple months, and then I just kind of fell off in March. So I've went back and I've backlogged and added stickers to the pages where I didn't draw anything. Okay, I genuinely do not know what happened that time. I did run out of space. It just stopped recording. I just feel like that's just gonna happen with all my videos no matter what I do. But as I was saying, I went back and like checked the days to try to remember them to draw a little thing here and there. But the days that I haven't, I'm still gonna just like put stickers or something, I guess. I think that's a good solution, and it helps me move through my stickers. I did for a second think about actually like writing like events and stuff. This is my sibling's birthday, but I think I'll keep that in my strictly planning book. I'm still on the fence about it, and it's already making me think about my books for next year. I know it's just June and I shouldn't be thinking about that yet, but I think I think I need to think about that right now. Another thing that I've done a little differently is I've put, sorry, just a second. Okay. Another thing that I've started to do is add my mood tracker here. This was something that was in my weeks, but I thought it would do good in this book also, just because it is like a log of my emotions and feelings anyway. And I feel like it's good to kind of, it'll be good to look back on, and it'll give something for, I guess, the outside of this page, and it adds a little more depth to it, I guess. And I just like to have my mood trackers visible. But other than that, that's kind of like the only things that's really different. I can show you some of my recent pages. I don't remember the last pages I showed you guys, so I'll just start here. I tried to like do it a little differently, and Bronte does it really good. She segments her pages like so beautifully. So I thought maybe it would add a little bit of depth and interest if I wrote like in different orientations and kind of split it up a little bit. That's why it's not just like one chunk of text. A lot of days I'll still do that anyway, but it's nice to kind of like ease into that as like an option for me also. I'm trying to draw a little more again as well. And then I always love sticking in thanks from my friends. This is from Bucky. Hi Bucky, if you're watching, I love you. But yeah, some days I do forget, I'll just draw, or I just don't feel good and I'll write a little bit, and that's okay. Not every page has to be perfect. It is at the end of the day something you can look back on as a reflection of your life at the time, and your life isn't going to be great all the time, you know. So the days where you just spent all day crying, you know, at least when you look back on it, you'll know that, hey, I wasn't doing too great at that point. And that's okay. This was from our vacation. I did most of my journaling for the trip in my big journal, so I had more room to play with, but I still put a little bit in here too. Drawing with the highlighters. This was the day we went for the walk. It was really nice. I took a lot of film photos throughout the last month or two, and I can't wait to see them. I'm sending them out soon to get developed, so I'm excited about that. Here's my little tarn instruction thing. A receipt for lazy days. And then I'm kind of picking it up a little bit again here. My favorite pen is running out of ink though, so I've got to get refills for it soon. I actually haven't wrote the last day or two just because my pen is out of ink, and I guess I could use a different color, but I'm so attached to my one pen. And the fact that I can't use it makes me not want to use anything. Does that make sense? Like, it's not my choice to use a different color right now, but I have to use a different color right now because my main pen that I use is out of ink. If that makes sense. So yeah, that's my A6 daily planner right now. I still just got some random bits and bobs stuff back here for days I don't want to journal much. I'll just stick it in on top. My pencil board. And then of course, you know, cards and stuff in the front. I did buy the pine tree cover, but I find the other Hobonichi covers, I love it a lot. I just feel like it's a little bulky when I put it all in here, and I don't like the closure on this as much as I like the closure on this, unfortunately. So it's what I still use, just not quite as much, especially if I'll be taking it with me somewhere. This is just a lot easier and more secure to carry it around in. I even ended up getting this band to go around this one just so it stays closed easier. But I do still love this one very much, and I've still got this cute little charm around it. It just doesn't get used as much as this one does, just because I feel like this one has more practicality to it. Okay. moving on to my A5 notebook. This one is a lot of fun. It's not getting filled up quite as quickly as the other ones, which I expected going into it. This one's kind of just my for fun book, I guess. A little bit of commonplacing, a little bit of whatever I feel like. It's just where all the extra stuff goes. It's not daily journaling. And here recently especially, that's not getting done quite as much. But I do still have my cards in here, and I've got this pocket where I keep extra stickers and stuff. I, of course, have my intro page. I always put an intro page on all my books just because it saves, it doesn't give me as much anxiety about starting a book because I know what I'll put on the first page already. And then it's a lot easier to use it afterwards, if that makes sense. If you have something you do on the first page of your book, no matter what, then you're never going to be like anxious about how to start your new journal or book, like ever, because you'll always start with a page like this, and that's why I always do that. Plus, it's a good like look into who I was at the time with my current favorite things and songs I'm listening to and things like that. And of course, all the decos always like represents who I am as a person, of course. So then, on the next page, I've started a tea log just because I think that's fun, and I do drink tea a lot. And then, as I was filling it out, I realized a lot of my tea that I'm drinking recently is loose leaf tea, and they don't have tags because they're not in tea bags because it's loose leaf tea. So it might take me a little longer to fill this page out than I thought it would, but that's okay. I'm still working on it slowly, and I'm sure by the time I finish this book, this will be filled out, so that's exciting. So in this book, I don't really have any rhyme or reason to what exactly goes in here. I'll collect things, I'll write about my feelings that I don't want to put in my daily journal, I'll commonplace some things, you know. So it's a little bit of a mix of everything. Everything that's not daily journaling or planning goes in here, essentially. Pretty much the same as my rings. It's just I like having a bound book for things like that rather than the rings, I guess. I love the rings in concept, but in practice it just usually doesn't work out as good for me as it does for other people, and that makes me kind of sad, but that's okay. It's just not for me like I thought it would be. I do like bound books a lot more anyway. So this is my journaling from our trip, and if you guys are interested in a better look at this stuff, I do have a video up of these pages specifically and kind of like some clips from our trip and stuff if you guys want to go check that out. This is where I just wrote about one of my favorite games I'm playing recently. This poor thing has been on my wall for years and getting moved around, and it's getting to the point where if I keep doing it, it'll fall apart. But it's from my first traveler's notebook, so it means a lot to me, so I just stuck it in here instead. That way I can keep it safe. And these are just some ideas I have for YouTube, which, speaking of this, if there's things you would like to see from me specifically, please comment and let me know. I'll never turn down a good idea. Also, I think I'm gonna play some Stardew Valley after I record this video, and I think I'm gonna write down the mods that I use because for some reason all my mods disappeared on me, so I'm gonna have to go through and re-download some and hope I get the same ones I got last time. And in the back I've just got some like clear cover things that I put on top of like leaves or something, finance tracker, and then a ghost file sticker from Bucky. Hi Bucky, thank you Bucky, I love my ghost file sticker so much. So there's not a lot in this one yet, but I do love it a lot, and it's slowly getting there. Once I start feeling better, I can just see this thing filling up quickly. So last but not least is my Hobonichi Weeks. This one, I love the Weeks, but I have been using it less lately. So this one is strictly my planning. So the monthlies are helpful because I can see everything at a glance that's going on. And then weeks, I like to have my to-do lists in a weekly view because I'm not pressured to do certain things on certain days. I can just do them as I get them done. It's also where I keep my habit tracking and my media log. And on the weekly pages, I'll also put like events that are happening. I will say I am using this a little less. Like, it's strictly just where I keep my informational things. Like, I'm working these days. This is the things I need to do. I'm not even decorating them the last few weeks. I don't know if that's just because I've been sad or if I'm just falling out of love with the Hobonichi Weeks. I think having 3 books is a little much, but I don't want to keep my planning stuff in my daily journal because I want my daily journal to be strictly fun memory keeping and things like that. So the Hobonichi Weeks ends up becoming like this extra thing that I lug around sometimes for when I go to work or if I have appointments or something with something. It's strictly just where I can keep my brain in place with what's going on during the week, because otherwise I would get completely lost in what day it is, you know. So that's, see, I didn't even track the rest of this week. I want to say it's just because I'm sad lately. Sorry, my dog is crying. Like I was saying, I want it to just be because I'm sad lately, but I just don't know for sure. I was thinking about getting a book next year, like a Hobonichi Cousin or something, or at least an avec, because my daily is getting so chunky and I'm so scared for the rest of the year. And I feel like an avec, with it being 2 books for the year, might be a little more manageable. But I feel like with one like those that has the weekly format in the book as well. Well, question. You guys might know this. I can't tell. Maybe I'm just stupid. Does the A6 of the Hobonichi Cousin have the weekly pages, or is it just the A5 version that has the weekly pages? Because then that would also throw in another wrench into my idea. But I thought maybe with a book that has monthly, weekly, and dailies, then I wouldn't have this issue anymore. My only issue then would be deciding what I want to do for the month pages, whether I want it to be like planning or if I want it to be like fun, like in this one. But that is a dilemma I'm willing to overcome if it means it dwindles down my book number a little bit, because I don't know how at one point I had like 16 books that I kept up with at once. There's like one other book aside from my rings that I have, and it's just like my media journal, and even then I don't use it as much as I used to use my other media journals. Like, I don't know how I did it. But it's a little overwhelming, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, to have 3 different books, but they all have their very specific needs. So in the end, I do still need all 3 books, even though it's kind of a lot. Does that make sense? If you guys have any like suggestions or ideas or anything, please hit me with them, because that would be helpful and awesome. But as of now, that's my books halfway through the year. I'm hoping I can still hang on to the weeks. I mean, I need to, because it's where I keep my everything that I need to keep me in check. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any questions about any of my books, please just let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. Or if you have any suggestions or anything like that, tell me about your books. What books are you using? How is your lineup now different than it was at the beginning of the year? What's your thoughts for next year? Yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next week. Hopefully, I'm going to try my best to keep videos coming again. Thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate you guys. I love you. Take care of yourself. Bye.